The year is 1863. For 2 long years, the American landscape has been scarred by civil war. Brother fights brother, and the nation teeters on the brink of collapse. The Confederacy had won stunning victories early in the war. The Union, however, remained determined to preserve the nation. The Battle of Antietam in 1862 had been a costly but crucial victory for the Union. It stopped the first major Confederate attempt to invade the North. More importantly, it provided President Abraham Lincoln the opportunity to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. The war was no longer just about preserving the Union, it was about freedom. The stage was set for a clash of arms that would determine the fate of a nation. Confederate General Robert E. Lee, emboldened by victories in Virginia, planned a daring offensive. He would take the war to the north, hoping to strike a blow at the Union's heartland. Lee's objective was twofold: capture a major northern city and draw the Union Army into a decisive battle. He knew that a Confederate victory on northern soil would be a devastating blow to Union morale. Lee's army crossed the Potomac River in June 1863 and entered Pennsylvania. Confederate soldiers, many of whom had never left their home states, marched through the lush farmlands of Pennsylvania. The Union Army of the Potomac, now under General George Meade, shadowed Lee's movements. Meade, a cautious but capable commander, was determined to prevent Lee from achieving his objectives. As both armies converged on a small town called Gettysburg, the tension mounted. A chance encounter on July 1, 1863, would set the stage for one of the most pivotal battles in American history. The Battle of Gettysburg raged for 3 long days, from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863. The first day saw fierce fighting on the outskirts of Gettysburg, with the Confederates initially pushing back Union forces. However, the Union Army took up strong defensive positions on Cemetery Ridge and Culp's Hill. The second day witnessed some of the most intense combat of the entire war. Confederate forces launched furious assaults on the Union flanks. On the third day, Lee ordered a massive assault on the center of the Union line, known as Pickett's Charge. Nearly 13,000 Confederate soldiers marched towards the Union positions, facing a storm of artillery and rifle fire. The charge was a disaster, and by the evening of July 3rd, the Confederate army was defeated and in retreat. The small town of Gettysburg, once a peaceful farming community, was now a vast battlefield, forever etched in American memory. Section 4. Leaders under fire: Lee, Meade, and the fate of 2 armies. The Battle of Gettysburg was a clash not only of armies but also of 2 extraordinary military leaders, Robert E. Lee and George Meade. Lee, the brilliant strategist, had led the Confederacy to victory after victory. However, at Gettysburg, Lee's judgment seemed to falter. His decision to launch Pickett's Charge proved to be a costly mistake. Meade, a more cautious and methodical commander, rose to the occasion at Gettysburg. He skillfully deployed his troops, taking advantage of the strong defensive positions. After the battle, Meade was criticized by some for not pursuing Lee's retreating army more aggressively. However, his victory at Gettysburg had secured a crucial turning point in the war. The battle tested the mettle of both commanders and revealed their strengths and weaknesses. Section 5. Turning of the Tide. The significance of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg is widely regarded as the turning point of the Civil War. It marked the end of the Confederacy's offensive capabilities and shattered Lee's hopes of winning a decisive victory in the North. The battle had a profound impact on both the North and the South. In the North, the victory at Gettysburg boosted Union morale and strengthened public support for the war effort. In the South, the defeat at Gettysburg was a crushing blow. It dashed Confederate hopes for a swift victory and forced the South into a long and costly defensive war. The tide of the war had turned in favor of the Union. Section 6. A New Birth of Freedom: Gettysburg's Enduring Legacy. The Battle of Gettysburg was more than just a military engagement, it was a defining moment in American history. In the words of President Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg was the place where the brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, delivered on November 19, 1863, eloquently captured the meaning and significance of the battle. He spoke of the unfinished work that lay ahead, the task of preserving the Union and fulfilling the promise of equality for all Americans. The battleground at Gettysburg became a hallowed ground, a symbol of sacrifice, resilience, and the enduring power of hope. The legacy of Gettysburg continues to resonate today, reminding us of the fragility of democracy, the cost of freedom, and the importance of preserving the ideals for which so many fought and died.